Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back once again for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And as you can see, I got the FSW jersey behind me. I got another Buck on the podcast today, another one of their D1 products, because that's all they produce. And he is the definition of a D1 product, one of the best point guards in the entire JUCO ranks this past season. And as you can see, he's eating breakfast. We got him up bright and early this morning, but got to get some food in that stomach there because he's going to get ready to go off to UMass Lowell this upcoming season and absolutely dominate. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 foot tall guard, Kenyon Giles. What's going on, man?
No, much. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, absolutely, man. I took a look at the film. I was tuned in all season long for the Bucks, as I always am. Took a look at what you guys did and absolutely dominated the Florida region, just like FSW is known for doing every single year. And
hmm
before we hop into these questions that I'm going to ask you, I want fans, viewers to really get to know who you are, get to know this resume that you've developed already just in 2 quick years in a quick segment that I like to call Resume Rundown, where I'm going to show off some of what you've done. And obviously, I just mentioned you signed with UMass Lowell, going on to the Division I level. Before you were at
hmm
FSW, you were at the D2 level with West Virginia State, where you were basically a full-time starter for them, average double figures as a true freshman. And I mean, you had multiple 20 balls, even a 30 ball I saw on your stat sheet from
hmm
that time. Came over to FSW, didn't miss a beat. Average double figures once again, improved your scoring, improved your playmaking, helping lead FSW to Citrus Conference Championship this past season. And you yourself, you were a first team All Citrus Conference selection in
hmm
2026. So obviously, some great accolades already to your name. You're going to keep developing them over the next couple of years as you continue your career. But I got to ask, coming from the D2 level, now with the transfer portal era, which obviously you entered the transfer portal, came over to FSW, you're coming off of a fantastic freshman year where you're averaging double figures. And a lot of
hmm
the times, players don't want it. A lot of players look at JUCO as a step down, and
hmm
which you and I both know that's clearly not the case. You easily, in my opinion, could have possibly gone D1 after your freshman year of college. What was it that made you choose to go the JUCO route, and how would you say that going JUCO really helped you more than anything to prepare you for the D1 level?
I would say most of it was like opportunity. Like a lot of schools had different opportunity for different guys, especially like the schools I was getting recruited by. They was getting a lot of JUCO prospects coming out, going to the D1 level. Like I went down to a couple schools. It was right. Also had a little bit of a turnover problem my first year, so that low key messed me up a little bit more so than like coming off this year, playmaking got better, like developed everything in that way, just improved in every aspect. I would say going JUCO, like I wanted to be able to be recruited all year round, basically. Because if I would have went D2 another year, you have to go to the portal to get recruited. JUCO, you can get recruited from the day you commit there, honestly. So that really what went into it. Talked to my family about it. They were with it, especially knowing how Florida Southwestern produced D1 athletes, and that's stuff that I was trying to be.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of talented guards that have come out of that ranks. Terry Roberts, who's a great friend of mine. He's with the Long Island Nets in the G League now after playing at Georgia. Jalen Finch, one of the best point guards they've ever had, playmaking wise, especially. He's now playing pro overseas. I think he's in his second or third year. So not only do they produce players that can go to the D1 level, they produce players that can go to the pro levels at the end of
Mhm.
their collegiate careers. And obviously, you were able to not only be a dominant scorer, but also be a very key playmaker. You and Tay Allen, you guys were kind of a 1-2 punch at the point guard position, both being able to score, but also being able to be playmakers. And your freshman year at West Virginia State, you had 38 assists, were primarily a scorer during your time with them. This
Mhm.
past year, you had 98 assists. You even had a game where you had 13 assists in one game as well during your sophomore season. Talk to me real
Mhm.
quick about your improvement playmaking wise. What really went into that development with so many other talented scorers on this team to be able to allow you to dish the ball out more effectively?
I would say it's definitely more like the roster put up. Like we got so many talented guys, we got so many guys that can make shots, and we got so many guys that could dunk the ball this year. I would say my first year it was kind of hard to settle in because you probably had one big that probably catch a lob or something, and more so we had a lot of scores, but we had a lot of like off the dribble scores that I would like per se. Like we didn't really have corner sitters. We didn't have like really have guys who was just catching and shooting. We had guys who caught the ball, two dribble pull up to the midi, not really counted as an assist or anything like that. This year we got 1 through 5 can shoot the three maybe, or we got Steven down there that can catch a lob or smooth. And it was just like the roster outlook, I would say. Like it made it way easier to get assists. And had a defense just wandering around and just being able to make plays off of them, just talented guys.
Hmm. Hey, it always helps to have talented scorers around you to help you out. Obviously, you yourself being a talented scorer as well, but having that IQ to see where guys are open, seeing what the defense is doing to where, okay, Mason's going to be open in the corner. If I drives, I'm going to dump it off to Steven. He's going to dunk it on their heads. Roman, Smooth, all of them able to just dunk it on people's heads. Great group of bigs this past season for you guys, and 1 through 15 overall. And you guys overall, it took a couple of games for people to really develop their roles, really be able to see, okay, this is what I got to do. This is what I got to do. And your first couple of games, you didn't reach double figures, had a couple of low scoring outings because other guys were going off having 20 ball games, helping you guys to wins, obviously doing their thing. But after, I believe, 3 or 4 games, you had 10 straight of double figures, 6 of those games being 15 plus, a couple of 20 ball games as well. How long would you say it really took for you to find your stride in this system to where you could develop your role? And how would you say that role developed throughout the course of the season?
Honestly, them first 3 games, I feel like that Wallace definitely told me like keep shooting and all that. I for sure was going through a little mental lap because I had just started wearing contacts. So it was kind of weird shooting the ball, honestly, with like different backdrops and everything. Especially when we went down to Ranger, it was like a different gym, smaller gym, so it was something adjusting to do. Went back. I'm not gonna lie. Went back. We went back home. I did not wear my contacts against Monroe. I think I probably shot like 2 for 3 from the three, maybe that game, and like I shot a lot of free throws. It was like a little reset button for me, honestly. I would say. So after that game, the third game or fourth game, I felt good. Like I felt like my role. I was starting to embrace it, especially coming off the bench. I was just doing whatever they needed me to do, honestly. Because like coming off the bench, it was easier like do with my like filling the role that Monte was just playing. Like if he was out there and they were packing the paint when he was coming down, and he was making passes like that. I knew when I got in the game it might be similar, or if it was times where he could have scored the ball, or I told him like go score the ball when you're down there. They're flaring out to our shooters. This is like your time to score. I went in there and that's what I did. Just played aggressive all the time, made plays off being aggressive. And I would say my role like improved over the course of a year. We had couple guys go down, so a couple of us had to just step up, I'll say. And for me, it was more so stepping up in other aspects. Like I had to step up on defense also. Offense, it was coming. Like because I was always ready to embrace that role of whatever they needed me to do, whether it was passing it, whether it was scoring it, and the defending. So as time went on, that role just kept getting bigger, minutes kept getting bigger, shots got larger, lights got larger, honestly.
Mhm. Hey, there you go. Obviously, you got to live up to the role that you're trying to build, not only for yourself, but your teammates have helped build around for you as well. And you yourself, you were able to just knock down shots at will as the course of the season went on. Whole lot of games where you were scoring 20 plus, leading them to some big time wins. And I want to talk about some of these highlights specifically in a segment that I like to call Make That Play, where I went through Synergy and I put together what I feel like were your top 3 plays from this past season. But obviously, I'm just a stats guy. I'm just fan in the stands. You're the one on the court doing what you do best. So, what would you say was your best play from this past season?
Uh, Best play. Can I have like a series? Because I more so this year I probably had like a series of possessions. I'll say
Mhm.
like I probably went on like a 12-0 run like twice this year. I probably went on like a 14-0 run against Daytona at our house because we needed to beat them at the Sisters Championship, and we was going through like I wouldn't say we was going through like a drought, but we needed like a difference maker. I'll say, and I went on like a 12-0 run against them where I'll say that's probably my best best plays of the year.
Hey, I mean,
Definitely.
one of the top teams in the country. And obviously, you guys showed why you were one of the best in the country. It actually comes against Daytona State as well, where you had a full court drive against them, pushed the ball up the court in stride, and actually crossed over the defender behind your back. And he went one way. You got that ball behind your back, went right up to the rim, got 2 points on the board there, made their defense look silly, and showed your athleticism, your elite ball handling skills as well in the process. Number two, going against a double team against Pensacola State, where you beat the first defender off the dribble, got right past him. He ended up being on your back hip, went into the second defender with the first one still there with you. So going basically a double team right there. And you went up to get the shot off, had to adjust a little bit, still managed to find ways to put the ball in the basket there. And number one, going against Monroe, actually had a crossover spin move into an up and under. Any kind of fancy little thing you could do with your shot, you basically did it right there, where you crossed over the first defender at the top of the arc, hit a spin move to get further closer to the basket, and got up against their big man, adjusted mid-air once again to make that shot. So obviously, elite level athleticism showcased a whole lot of what you were able to do this past year. And this team overall, like we've talked about, Citrus Conference champions, going off beating some of the best like Daytona State, Eastern Florida State, some of these top ranked teams, Monroe, very talented team as well. You guys beat them. 23 and
Mhm.
8 overall record, 13 and 3 in Citrus Conference action. Talk to me real quick about what made this team so special to where you guys could go off, win that conference championship. Because that conference, in my opinion, is the most difficult conference to win in the entire country, any region in JUCO. So talk to me about what was so special about this year's team.
I would say us as a team, we had so much chemistry because how we was off the court. Like we supported each other through struggles and everything, and I felt like we battled so much adversity that we had to be like. I feel like this group this year, like we were like clearly a family. Like we had each other's back off the court, on the court, and we all wanted to play with each other. So I would say that like one thing about this year, like we just went through so much adversity that we had to become like it was just like so much brotherhood. I would say. I just feel like that's what played the most part into it.
That's the culture and the mentality that FSW had with Coach Wallace and Coach Murph before him, and even Marty Rector, the coach before Coach Murph. And it's definitely gonna be interesting to see where they're at moving forward. I know Coach Wallace is gonna be taking a more higher paying job moving forward. Hopefully going to the D1 level. Very talented coach. Shout out to him. Love everything he's done for me in my career as well. And what's crazy is he had to replace so much talent from a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He brings in Lamont, who's a true freshman, brings in Mason Blazer from St. Petersburg, and Isaac Okoro from the D1 ranks. What was it? I know you mentioned before, obviously, you guys being a family, having to battle all of this adversity. When it came to being on the court, how long did it take for you guys to really blend together style wise? Obviously, we mentioned before, everyone developing their roles. How long did that take, and what was it that really seemed to click to where once those roles were established, you guys were just so dominant?
I'll say it took like wait a summer because after the summer it was there. Like the chemistry was there, like the style of play was there, how we wanted to play it was there. Like we knew from the jump we wanted to be a fast paced team. We wanted to score 100. We wanted five guys in double figures. Like we knew certain guys were going to make sure they got their we knew certain guys were going to get these shots in these moments, and the style was just there because we played so fast. We played so fast to the point where Steven was going to get his 10 rebounds. Played so fast where Mason was going to get eight threes up a game, and we guarded good enough to the point where we was in a half court setting. T-Bay could get his mismatch. Like we had me and Tay in transition. We had Lamont in the corner. So most of the time it was like the style, it came very quickly just because like the type of team we had. Like everybody was like a 1-2 punch. Everybody could do more than just one thing. Everybody was like a Swiss Army knife. Everybody could do so many things. Like we had guys who primarily what Lamont for instance, my Lamont came into the year like a little slasher, 6'4" athletic guy, like super strong. Can't really stop him from getting downhill. Season starts, he's our one of our best 3-point shooters.
Mhm.
We got Mason. Mason, three level scorer. you could put him anywhere, honestly. Like when the game started, then we had Tyler Bay, where it was a mismatch on the court all the time. So like you always knew like a couple guys could do a couple things. So it was just the blend of just getting everybody in the right spots. And I think like our style blended so well because like everybody was happy for each other. Like everybody wanted to see that other guy go get this and go get that. Like nobody was hating. I'll say like it wasn't no envy. It wasn't none of that. It was more so like embracing everybody's role. Like one, and we had the type team where anybody could go for 20. So like the styles blended because you never knew.
Yeah. I mean, when you have that many dominant scorers, it helps a ton. And you yourself, you averaged 14.7 points per game, 3 rebounds, over 3 assists, shot over 33% from beyond the arc. And some of these games, I mentioned you had 13 assists in a single game. That came against Elgin, where you also had 18 points. Polk State, you had 25 points, knocked down 6 threes there. And then Eastern Florida State, 29 points, knocked down 7 threes against them. So, lights out scorer yourself as well, and obviously paired up with all of these other guys. And you yourself, we mentioned before, obviously you getting recruited, you ended up choosing UMass Lowell to continue your career at the D1 level, which I can't remember I believe they're in the American East or something like that. And they're looking for a guard to come in and be not just a great scorer, but also a great playmaker in their system. Obviously, they bring someone like you in. What was it that really convinced you that that was the place that you wanted to call home? And how do you feel like you're going to really blend into their style of play next season?
I would definitely say like I wanted to call it home because of their staff. Honestly, like their staff, they have a great staff over there. I loved everything about it when I went down there. Honestly, and the stuff they showed me how they want me to like be in the offense, be in the defense, and like how they run things was just something I like enjoyed. Honestly, like where I seen it, where I was there on a visit, and I knew that I wanted to call it home by the time I left. By the time I got back to the hotel, I called them. Honestly, so it was just one of them places where like they make you feel like a priority. Like they let you know what you want, what they want you to do, and they're expecting you to do those things. And everything that I want to do, that's what they are expecting from me. And I feel like I would blend very well with them because they play through their guards. Like honestly, down there, like they've had teams where they started about 2 guards, 3 guards at least. Like last year, they started 3 guards. They had two average double figures. Their guards lead them to every like possible stat besides like rebounding. So like I feel like I would blend very well with them just because like of how they want to play with their guard like through their guards. And if they want a guy to go down there and play 30, that's what I want to do.
Hey, there you go. Go off, win a conference championship, make it to March Madness, the national tournament, do what you do, go off and get a lot of wins and put up a whole lot of buckets as well. And I know obviously we've talked a lot about the talent from FSW. You're going to end up playing alongside a lot of great talent at UMass Lowell as well at the D1 level. And I want to give you a chance to shout out whether it's old teammates, new teammates, or just guys you know that are great ballers in general at the next level in this segment called Who's Up Next, where you get to recommend some players for me to have on, talk about their careers, their stories, just as you're doing now. So, who would you say is next up on the Some Sports podcast?
I got a couple names for you. Okay, I can go say Vontae Coros going to Henry Ford this year. Braylon Salters going to Guilford this year. Tyson Gardner's undecided, but I believe he's committing very soon. DeVille Harris, Jr. Coming out of D3, about to go D1. So his story is one of those ones. You can get Tyler Bay on here as well from FSW.
Oh yeah, a lot of great names right there. A lot of great stories, as I can clearly tell just from the background, all that stuff. Going D3 to D1. Congrats on to that guy, Tyler Bay. I believe he just committed to Grambling. So obviously a whole lot of great stories to get on the podcast, talk about there. And those are great right there for who's up next. Now we've got to talk about what's next for yourself. Obviously, we just talked about how you feel like you're going to really blend into UMass Lowell's style, what they're going to be able to do. Talk to me real quick about how you're looking to improve your game this off season to go into UMass Lowell year one with them in the 26-27 season and take an even bigger jump than you made with FSW.
Just I would say just being bit more patient, bit more poised. Um, Maturing as I go for sure. Um, Definitely working on everything, honestly. Whether it's scoring, whether it's passing, definitely going in there being a great defender, honestly. Just having that chip on your shoulder, I'll say. I'm probably looking to improve. I definitely want to improve like my percentages wise this year. But I do also, I want to be able to have a great percentage while with great volume, honestly, because that's just like I've never been the type of guy to like shy away from shots. Like that's why I probably say like my percentages were how they were this year. Like my first year, I I thought about percentages a little bit. Like when I was about 4 for 4, the next three came and I might have been high. I didn't take the heat check. I'm more worried about my percentages than anything. Don't know why. Uh, at FSW, we could be up 18. I'm still shooting them. I might be about 1 for 6, wide open, letting it go. Or it might be something just trying to get the rhythm in. So I definitely want to be able to improve my percentages this year on about the same amount of volume, honestly. So I'm definitely working towards that, improving my playmaking and definitely like my leadership roles, like being the leader in all aspects, trying to come in here, be the starter guard, and all that. Win the summer, win the off season first, and then get ready for the season to start. Handle business then.
Hey, there you go. Got to start in the off season and then work your way towards the regular season. And obviously, no doubt in my mind, you're going to be a great leader for them, a great point guard for them to go off and get buckets, dish out assists, and help your teammates overall improve their game as well. Beyond excited to get another great buck guard on the podcast. You already know that this time next year, we're going to be showing off your highlights with UMass Lowell as you guys make it to the NCAA tournament right here back on the Slim Sports Podcast, talking about year one at the D1 level for yourself. Beyond excited to get you on, man. Thank you so much for hopping on the Slim Sports Podcast today for a fantastic interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.